Hi, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well this evening. Hope you guys can see and hear me okay. This is the first time that I am actually trying to do this live from YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Hopefully, everything works out okay. We'll see. Um, but yeah, hope everything is okay. I can only see one chat, so I do see Rita and Kim on the chat room. So if you guys are on the Facebook, I don't think I see you guys. But that's okay. It's not a problem. I'll see if I can switch between the two and see if I can see you guys. Now I see Becky, I see and Robin. So it looks like everybody is coming in and stuff. So today is going to be a big topic, okay? One that I have done in the past, but I was asked recently to do it again to talk about embroidery pricing, okay? It is a pretty difficult topic to talk about because there's a lot of customization, a lot of different ways that you can do pricing, right? And everybody does it in a different way. No one does it the same. And there's different things that you have to take into consideration when you are pricing your items for a sale and stuff. So, I just want to just mention that, okay? So I am going to tell you, I'm going to give you guys my opinion. And as always, I am as honest as I always am going to be. Sometimes it could be a favorable thing, and sometimes it can kind of like I can kind of piss you guys off a little bit. But I always believe in being honest on how I feel. But just know that this is just my way of doing things. And it's just certain things that I think you should really be considering when you are doing embroidery. Doesn't mean that I know it all or anything like that. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have embroidery businesses and they have their own opinions, but I just want to put that out there, okay? It's just certain things that I think you really should be considering when you are pricing your items, okay? So why am I doing this? All right. Well, first of all, someone did reach out to me because they had posted about in our Facebook group, they had posted about pricing, right? So a lot of people had difference of opinions of how things should be priced. And there was a lot of back and forward, and people, saying you should do it this way or you should do it that way. And the person reached out and said, "Can you do something?" And I said, "Absolutely. I'll do something and I'll give you my perspective of how you should be looking at things, or not even should be, but things you should really consider." Okay. So I'm just going to say it like that. Okay. There are a lot of times when I do see a lot of posts that say, "Hey, I was asked to do something and this is what I was, a customer asked me to do a shirt or personalize a jacket or something like that." And they come out and they post and they say, "What do you think I should charge?" Well, I have to be really honest. I do kind of sometimes cringe a little when I see that someone is posting something like that. And I'm going to give you the reason, okay? The thing is, not everyone is going to price items the same way. And it depends on where you are, what type of materials you're using, and also what you personally had paid for, okay? Just because I paid a one price for stabilizer doesn't mean that someone else in the other side of the world had paid the same thing, or even right next door to me, right? Because sometimes there's different things that go into play, right? I do have a business license, and a lot of times when I buy certain things, I don't get charged sales tax when I'm buying them for my business. And and there are times when I purchase things from wholesalers, so I don't sometimes pay retail price for some of my items. So those are certain things that you have to consider when you are pricing, okay? So if you are someone who doesn't get their supplies from a wholesaler or something like that, you're obviously going to be spending a lot more on materials. So my pricing may not work for you because it's going to cut into your profit, because you're probably spending more on your materials, your stabilizers, your threads, and stuff like that. So, the thing is, you have to be careful when you ask that type of question, because just because someone provides you an answer doesn't mean that the answer that you got really would work for you, okay? Because they may be in another place and it's a different climate, and so you just have to be very conscientious of that. Okay. So let's talk about, the pricing a little bit. And as always, got my notebook, lots of notes and stuff like that I really wanted to break down with you guys. So I hope that you guys find this kind of helpful, because it's something that I really want you guys to really take in and just really think about it. Okay. Now, like I said before, the first thing, okay, let's talk about some facts here, okay? Not everybody's pricing is going to be the same, okay? It really falls on you as the business owner to really determine the type of prices that you want to charge, okay? There are several things that you have to consider, like I've mentioned before. Let's talk about your location and your customer base, all right? Now, my mother in law lives in South Carolina, and she has her own business, and she has a business that's on a like flea market, and she has a corner shop, right? And there were times when I first started doing embroidery, and I said, "Hey, Ma, maybe you could put some of my items in your shop." And one of the things that she told me was, "Jeanette, no." And the reason why she said that wasn't because she didn't think that I had good quality items. Basically, she knew her customer base. She knew that the people that actually walked through that mall were not people that, you know, um, had heavy wallets. They were usually going in there because they just wanted to spend $1 or two or something. I'm getting hot in here. Hold on. I want to turn the fan on. So, oh, good. That's going to feel better. So, she knew that the items that I embroider were going to, they're more highly priced, right? So people are not going to want to spend $25 on a kitchen towel, right? Because they're probably looking at kitchen towels and they want to spend maybe $2 or $3 for it. They're not going to want to spend 25. And she, in a flea market, a lot of times what people do is they do negotiations, right? And she just didn't want to be in a position where she had to negotiate all my items, right? So totally got that understood. So that's something that you really have to think about. Think about the location of where your items are being sold, and also think about your customer base. Think about the economy where you are, right? Or are you in an area where a lot of people have high incomes, that they're high income earners? Are they in the middle? Are they in the low? That's going to determine how you're going to price your items. Okay, that's something you need to consider. Okay. It doesn't mean that the price has to be low, but what I'm saying is just have that understanding of your area. Okay, understand what the economics look like. Okay. The other thing that you have to think about is your cost of the materials that you use. Okay, like I was saying before, I sometimes can get my stuff on wholesale prices. So because I get wholesale prices, my materials cost less than someone who went ahead and bought retail, right? So that is going to take a factor in how much profit I can make when I go to sell items, right? The other thing is you have to think about your time. All right. Time is very important. Okay. And also the process that you use. How are you processing your orders? Okay. That was something that we talked about last week, or was it the week before? I think it was the week before, because last week I was hanging out with Nancy. So the week before I talked about how I process my bulk orders, right? Now, your process is very important because it talks about the amount of time that you're going to be using to finish your orders up. Time is money, okay? It is your time, but believe me, it's not free. So you have to make sure that you have a process that is very smooth, seamless, organized. Okay. You don't want to have a process where you're running around all over the place looking for things, because what happens is it's going to take longer for you to finish that order. The longer it takes for you to finish that order, that means that you're going to be losing money. So it's just something that you need to consider as well. Okay. And also, you got to think about how you are selling your items. Are you going local, or are you using an online service? Okay. If you go local, chances are you're going to profit a lot more, for the simple fact that they're coming to you, you're processing the orders, you collect the money, and then you're good and you're golden. Okay. However, though, if you are doing online orders, there's certain things that you have to consider. For instance, you're using someone's platform, right? So, of course, using another platform isn't going to be for free. So, what's going to happen is you're either going to be having transaction fees. You're going to be, there's going to be a lot of things associated, listing fees and stuff like that. For instance, when I sell on Etsy, I have to pay a transaction fee. I also have to pay a listing fee. And then Etsy also comes out, it takes out a little bit of the sale for their profit, right? Depending on the platform that you use, some people charge you 3%, 4, 5, whatever it is, right? So there's always going to be something that you have to think about, all right? Also, in Etsy, one of the things that I was talking to my girlfriend about today was she made a sale and she didn't really realize that on Etsy, if someone buys something that's over $35, they get automatic free shipping, right? So when someone bought something from her shop and she had to pay the priority shipping, of course, came out of her profit. So that is something else that you have to consider on your platform, right? If you have to pay the shipping, right, and that's going to eat up on your profits. So a lot of times what happens is a lot sellers will say, okay, this is an item that I'm selling. Usually this is the weight of the item. This is the average cost to ship an item. So what they will do is they will add that shipping cost to the price of the item. That way, when the person goes and buys that, they kind of like paying for the shipping, but they really don't know they paid for the shipping. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like it doesn't hurt you as much because it didn't cut into your profit because you already included that shipping cost into the cost of your item. Okay. So online sales can be a little tricky, but they are a little easier to do. Now, there are two types of sales that are in consideration, right? You got your standard products, and then you also have custom embroidery. And you have to make sure that you understand how you're going to price these items. The example that I gave you regarding if you go somewhere online, you already know how much it's going to cost to ship and all that kind of stuff. That's a sample of a standard embroidery product. I'll give you another example of standard embroidery products. Let's say you go online and you just, or even local, you're selling napkins, right? Dinner napkins. And let's say, all is personalized, but you already know how much all the dinner napkins are going to cost. So you go and you just buy your dinner napkins, you embroider the initial or the name or the symbol or logo, whatever it is that the customer wants. If it's something that you sell, like let's say dinner napkins, and all you have to do is change the initial, you kind of already know how much you're going to charge per napkin, right? Because you already took all that into consideration. Nothing new there, okay? But let's say somebody comes to you and say, hey, I want a dinner napkin, but I want a custom logo. That is a little bit different because now what's happened is you're not just embroidering a name. Now you have a logo that you have to go get digitized. That costs, okay? Then you have to test it out. That's time. And then you're going to have, probably a stitch count and stuff like that. It's going to take a lot longer for you to embroider those dinner napkins. So that's kind of different, okay? It is a standard product, but it's more of on a custom area. Another product that I see a lot of, which is, I feel that's very saturated. I know some folks are going to get pissed off at me, is the birthday shirts for the kids, okay? It is very saturated, but the thing is, they're easy to make because once you have the design, all you have to do is change the number or add the name of the child, and then you're good to go. Those are more easier to price because very little of the product actually changes, right? The only thing you're doing is changing a name and a number. Very easy. You already know what the blank cost you. You already know how long the processing time takes. And if you're selling them online, you already know about the transaction fees and all that kind of stuff and everything. All you have to do is make sure that you're making the profit amount that you want to make per product that you sell. Okay. Now, the thing is standard products can be a little bit tricky also, okay? And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about supply and demand, okay? Back in college, I remember taking business classes, and I remember there was like a whole like chapter on the subject of supply and demand, okay? Now, in embroidery, and if you're doing standard products, this kind of business concept kind of comes into play, okay? Now, supply and demand is kind of like it's like the little trade that you see with the law, right? When supply is high, okay? I think, let me see if I remember this correctly, okay? Let's say you have the demand, right? And the demand is high and the supply is low. If the supply is low and the demand is high, then what happens is the prices can go up and people will be more willing to pay top dollar for that item. However, though, if you flip it the other way, okay, where you have the supply that is really high, for example, the birthday shirts, or dinner napkins or kitchen towels or whatever, right? Let's say that there's a particular item, a standard product that you like to provide to your customer base, but it is saturated. There is a lot of people out there that are doing the same product that you're doing, right? But there is a demand out there. But what happens is there is so much supply, okay, that what ends up happening is to get those customers to purchase your item, then what happens is people start to that are providing those shirts or those dinner napkins or kitchen towels, whatever it may be, they need to grab those customers. So how do they grab the customers? They start lowering the price. It's because they want to make their item as attractive as possible to that consumer, right? So supply and demand plays a big part in standard embroidery, okay? So that can be pretty tricky in your pricing, because if you are providing a product that is very much in supply, the demand is there, but the supply is humongous, then what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to charge pretty much at a high rate. You're probably going to have to lower your price, which means that your profit is going to be low. And if your profit is low, then you're going to have to start asking yourself the question of, is this a product that I really want to consider selling? Because it may not be advantageous for you to actually do it, okay? Because it's probably too much work. You have to buy inventory and stuff like that, and you're really not making the money that you wanted to make, okay? So it's just something that you have to think about when you are pricing your items, okay? However, though, there's the other side of embroidery, which is the one that I have to be honest, that's the one that I really love to do, which is really custom embroidery. Custom embroidery, though, as fun as it can be and stressful also, because that is really not for everybody, okay? Especially for folks that are just beginning in embroidery, custom embroidery can be very, very tricky. The reason why I say that it's very tricky is because you really got to know what you're doing, because no order that comes to you is going to be the same. Every order is going to be unique. Because of that, what's going to happen is the pricing is always going to be unique and never going to be the same. So you really have to be very conscientious and aware of the type of pricing strategy that you're going to use to make sure that you are profitable, okay? Not only you got to be really up on your skills, but you have to make sure that you got the pricing concept down packed, okay? Now, there are certain things that people do to price their items. Some people, I hear them say it all the time. They go, I do this much per I charge a certain amount per thousands of stitches. You can do that. However, though, understand that there is a lot more that needs to be considered besides the stitch count. And one thing that a lot of people do, and they starting to shift away from that method, because they're finding that you end up losing a lot of money when you actually do use that method. I'm not saying throw that out the window. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is if you're using that method, also consider other things as well. These are the other things that you should be considering, okay? Yeah, you have a stitch count. The stitch count, sometimes people interpret it as this is how long it's going to take me to embroider this particular design. There is a falsehood with having that type of perception. Not all embroidery designs are stitched out the same way. And I'm going to repeat that. Not every design that you see out there gets embroidered the same way. If you guys have watched the videos that I've done in the past, you guys have seen when I do custom embroidery, I don't just look at the stitch count. I have to look at the actual design. Sometimes designs have little details in there that require more attention. And when I mean that it requires more attention, I'm talking about the type of thread that you're using and the size needle that you use as well. Sometimes in some designs, you can run your machine full blast. In other designs, you may have to slow that machine down. And when you slow down that machine, it takes longer for you to embroider. So if you had something that was 10,000 stitches and you're using that old concept of, I'm just going to charge $10 because it's $1 a stitch or whatever it is that you want to do per stitch count, okay? And I'm going to say, okay, that's what I'm going to charge. Stick it in the machine. You look at the design, and the design has little fonts in there, okay, that you have to use 65/9 needle. You have to use 60 weight thread. You have to use 40 weight thread. When you use the 60 weight thread, you got to slow down your machine. That's no longer a 15-minute stitch. That could be a 20-minute stitch. And that's costing you more money because you're using 2 different types of needles and you're also using 2 different types of weight threads, okay? So you have to think about all this stuff. I see it all the time where people just come out and say, I just look at the stitch count and then I say $1 a stitch, a book 1K stitches, and that's the price. And only thing that comes to my mind is you are gonna go broke real fast. That's exactly what goes through my mind. I may not say it out loud to you because I don't want to piss you off, but I'm gonna say it here, okay? If that's the only way that you are creating your price structure is just on that stitch count, you're not going to make it, okay? Because there are so many things you're missing. The time. And then let's go further. It's not just the time. Have you thought about your stabilizer? Have you thought about, the electricity and all that other stuff, right? Have you thought about that? No, you haven't. Stabilizer costs money. You didn't get it for free. It didn't just show up at your house. Somebody didn't just give it to you. You actually had to pay for it, okay? So a lot of times what I do is I create a sheet. And where's my sheet? Here it is. Where is it? Oh, don't tell me I can't. I'm supposed to have my sheet. So I usually have a sheet. And I don't have it here. I think I have it downstairs because I was running an order for someone. And I use that sheet just to, all right, I'm not going to bother looking for it and stuff like that. So this sheet, usually what it does is I'll write down when I buy stabilizer. Let's say I spent $19.99 on stabilizer, right? And it has 100 sheets. Take that, divide it in, and see how much it costs per sheet. Then you just write it down on a piece of paper. That way you have an idea of how much you actually spent on your stabilizer. You have to think of all this stuff, okay? Because this is stuff that is coming out of your pocket. Let's say you have to digitize something for someone, right? So usually when you digitize it, you should be charging them a service. Now, there's different ways that you can do this, okay? If I have a bulk order, I don't charge for the digitizing to the customer, okay? If I have a bulk order. If I have a single order, then what I'll do is I can do one or two things. I will add the cost of the digitizing to the price, okay, so that I'm not out that money, or I will just charge them a digitizing fee if they are not sure that they're going to purchase. Then I'm like, well, I'm not going to turn on that machine for free. You know what I'm saying? So I tell them, I say, well, if you want to do a test run, a test stitch will run you $25. That means that I take your design and I get it digitized and I run it on my machine as a test stitch, and you can walk out with the little swab. Okay, like this. You can walk. This is what you bought. Okay, this is what you purchased. So that way you know what it looks like. Now, if they come out and they say, I like it and I want to use it, usually what I'll do is if it's like, $25, and I'll do, okay, I'll probably take like maybe, $15, and I'll apply $15 discount to the purchase. Something like that. There's different ways you could price, okay? But the thing is, you have to be very, very conscientious of all your expenditures. Okay. The other thing also is when you're doing standard products, what you're doing is you're going with the time, right? What's hot today might not be hot tomorrow. So just be conscientious of that also, okay? Because a lot of times people like the standard product embroidery because it's something that they've done before 1,000 times. They know they're not going to make a mistake. And they feel very comfortable with it, right? Because they're like, okay, I could just make a shirt and all I have to do is change the name or a number, and they feel comfortable. They know that they're going to always produce a good product, okay? The problem that I have with that though is, as an embroiderer, you're not expanding your skills. It is great that you mastered that, and I think that's awesome. But what happens is you're not venturing out. There are so many different ways to embroider items. There's so many different products out there that you can embroider, okay? And there's so many different techniques. You need to expand your skill set if you really want to be successful. By sticking to what you are comfortable with, I think it's great if you're making those sales, right? Because the last thing you want is to be selling stuff that you're exploring. But the thing is, get out of that comfort zone. And as you are selling those standard embroidery products, start sharpening your skills so that you can try to get into that custom area. Because honestly, guys, that's where the money's at. That is truly where the money is at. That is when you have small business owners coming up to you and they're buying by bulk. And that is really where I get a lot of my money from. Okay. I have small businesses locally around me. They know I do the embroidery. They come to me with all their shirts, all their hats, their jackets, their coats, and stuff like that. And I embroider it. And they don't come with one shirt. They come with 20, 30, 40, 50, even 100. So it's like, got it. And I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the money's at. Okay. So, standard embroidery products is great if you want like a hobbyist, but there is a little thing like the like I was telling you, the demand and the supply thing. That's kind of like goes with like, what's in style today, right? Now it's hot. Okay, everybody wants it, so the demand's high. Okay, and then sometimes the supply can be a little low, and if the supply's low, you can go and you can sell. But then what ends up happening is people eventually catch up to what is the hot item of the day, and then you're going to have more competitors. When more competitors come in, that's when your prices may have to drop a little bit, and you're not going to be making as much as you want. Okay, perfect example of that, face masks. We all went through the pandemic. Okay, everybody needed face masks. It was the thing. People that knew how to sew was sewing face masks like crazy. They were selling them like crazy. Try making a face mask today and see if you could sell it. Seriously, try now. You probably will sell one or two, but you're not going to be selling like you were back then. Everybody needed them. The demand was there. The supply was low. Okay? The supply was low when the pandemic first hit, right? So everybody needed the mask. So what were they doing? They were online buying them from everyone. So people that knew how to sew and they were doing those face masks, boy, they were making that money. I made a bunch of money, okay? And it came at a good time because I felt guilty when I bought my SC 1900, okay? Because I paid $1,000 for that machine, and I made over $1,000 sewing face masks. So I was like, wow, that machine paid for itself, you know? So just something to think about, okay? Now, all right, so let's get back to the pricing, okay? There's also a lot of things that, something else that you need to consider too. Let's talk about the pricing of the high and the low, right? There's something that I wrote down here about it. You price too low, that could say something about you and your product. It could tell people, maybe it's not good quality. Price too high, and people are going to go, oh, she crazy. She crazy. She think we're going to pay that much. How much you want for that? No way. So that gets kind of tricky. And this is where I tell people, do your research. If you are embroidering something, right? Like, let's say you want to sell a product and you want to embroider. Let's say you want to do like back to school, right? We're doing back to school. Everybody's buying these pencil cases and stuff, really cute and stuff like that. And they're embroidering the kids' names on them, right? All right. Well, I want to sell this pencil case for $100. People out there probably ain't going to buy it for $100 because they can go on Etsy and look up pencil cases with all the names on it, and they're going to see that it's very saturated because it's back to school season. Everybody's trying to buy pencil cases, personalized pencil cases, different designs and stuff like that. So look at your competitors and see what price point they're at. So one of the things that I always do is I like to be kind of like in the middle, right? You don't want to be too high, because too high is you're going to be out the ballpark, because people are going to be like, why would I pay $100 for a pencil case when I see that pencil case over there for $30? Okay. You don't want to be too low because you're selling it for $1, but for someone who is very conscientious on things they buy, like I know I am, my first thought is, why is it $1? Why is it $1? Is it because there's no bobbin thread underneath, or is the bag broke? Is the zipper, is it not sewn right? Is the zipper get stuck or something like that? So you want to be somewhere in the middle, okay? So that is something that you have to consider. Now, let me see. I want to go down my notes because I want to make sure that I have certain things. Okay. Let's go to the second page here. I think I got everything in there. Okay. The other thing too is think about the blanks. Okay. Especially when, blanks are something that is pretty tricky. Whether you're doing custom embroidery or you are doing standard embroidery. Let's talk a little bit about the blanks here. There's lots of places that you can buy blanks. You can buy them locally, okay, or you can buy them overseas. If you get them overseas, of course, you're going to get a much better discount. Another thing you can also do is you can go to wholesalers and if you have your business license, you can usually get blanks at a cheaper rate too. The thing is, you have to ask yourself this question, and you got to be really honest. Do you want to be in the business of having the blanks? The blanks take up space. As you can see, looking around here, I don't have that much space. Okay? I really don't. My space is very limited. And I really don't want to put anything else in here. So blanks are something that I am very particular about when I purchase them. Now, if you are into clothing, right? Clothing can be pretty tricky because there are so many things you have to consider, when you are getting blanks for clothing. There's different textures of fabric. There's different sizes. And, depending on the different brand, there's different prices. That can be pretty difficult for you to price, okay? And for you to carry and for you to even offer to your customers, okay? Because what ends up happening is you can have customers that are pretty picky. Some people like their shirts soft, some people like the rough look, some people like the curve, some people like the boxy, some people want the V-neck, some people want the little circle and stuff. It could end up being a mess. Now, I don't have patience for that. I really truly don't. Okay, so this is what I do. Okay, I when I meet with a customer and the customer is interested in getting shirts embroidered, I prefer to sell the service, not the product. And what I tell the customers to do is I tell them, hey, here are some wholesalers and you have your business license. I recommend you open an account with them and you buy your products straight from them, the blanks. And I will provide you the service for the embroidery. There are certain reasons why I do that, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't have to worry about inventory. Okay? I'm not in here with a whole bunch of shirts behind me and stuff like that. I don't have to deal with that. The customer is going to get the shirt that they want. Once they have the shirts, they bring them to me, and all I do is embroider on them, okay? If you saw the video where I have the 26 shirts, okay, that I just did, I think I posted it a couple of days ago, whatever. So that was last week. I had a customer, 26 business shirts. I told the customer where to go, okay, because they live here locally. I have a wholesaler that's local as well. They went there, loved it, bought the bunch of shirts, bought them to me, and then I went and I embroidered them. And then I took the shirts and brought them back to him. I didn't have to worry about, hey, do you like this shirt? Does this shirt fit you? Or what size are you? Do you like this color? I don't want to deal with all that. I like embroidery. I don't want to be in the supply business like that. Okay. So it depends also on how you want to do it. Some people are okay where they have the space or they're fine with providing the supply. Okay. And that's all right. That's on you. Okay. I personally don't want to do that. I really wanted to focus on the service. So if you are providing a blank, your price structure is going to change. Okay. Because you bought the blank. You need to retrieve that money. And you also want to make a profit for that blank too. Because it took time for you to get that shirt. Okay. The shirt didn't just drop out of the sky. You had to actually go and pick up the shirt or order the shirt and deliver it. There was a service attached to you getting that blank. So you're selling the blank and you're also selling the embroidery on that. So that's another way that people price embroidery. Okay. So you have to think about that. Right. I personally focus on the actual service of the embroidery. The supply of the blank, totally up to the customer. I prefer to leave it up to them because that way they get what they really want. The only thing I tell them is make sure you tell me where you got it from. Just in case I get a mishap, I'll replace the item. Okay, at no charge. I'll eat up the cost. I don't mind taking the risk. Okay, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, but I'm pretty good at what I do. Pretty confident. I did screw up a $2,000 order once, and that kind of nipped me a little bit, but I turned that negative into a positive, so I ain't even sweating it. But it's risk that you take. Okay, so always think about that. Okay, you can do product and service and price that way. Okay, where you got your blank and your service, or you can do service only. Okay, now let me talk to you about something that people just do not charge for, and I really don't know why. And this is, to me, how I actually do my pricing. Okay, your time. Your time is valuable on this earth. That skill set that you got is valuable as well with the machines and everything that you purchased. Okay, none of this stuff that I got right here, all these machines back here, came free, had to pay for them. All right. My time is very, very valuable, and that is how I charge. Okay. Now, usually the average price for someone doing embroidery, they usually like to make $60 to $50 an hour. So usually what I'll do is if I have something that only takes 15 minutes to stitch, take $60, right? Divide it in half, which is 30. So that means every 30 minutes, I'm getting paid $30. Divide that in half. Every 15 minutes, I'm getting paid $15. So what I usually do is I say, okay, that's why you always hear me say, even if it's real small, my minimum charge is 15 bucks because that's my time. Okay. So I have $15, okay, per every 15 minutes. So if I have a small, let's say you just give me a handkerchief and it's just one letter, maybe it's small, it's a small letter, so only half an inch, you're paying $15 because I still got to turn on the machine. I got to hoop it in the stitch. $15. Okay. I believe that you're supposed to be charging for your time. Okay. The thread to me doesn't really matter too much. What matters to me is how long is that item under the needle of my machine, because that is what's costing me. Okay. Now, I do go a little bit further on that sometimes also. If I see that the design is a little bit, complicated, where I have to use different types of weight threads or different size needles, I have to slow down the machine, then you're not paying $15. You're probably going to pay maybe $20, $25, something like that. Okay. It depends on what it is. But that is custom embroidery. Okay. And that's the thing. Custom embroidery is so different. So someone comes to me with an order, the next person that walks down in that door isn't going to get the same price as the person before them because it's different. It's different. Even with dinner napkins. Let me use that example, okay? And I think did I use that example? I think I did. Where I tell you, you come to me and you say, I want dinner napkin with an initial. Okay. Well, this is how much it's going to cost per dinner napkin. Then you give me another dinner napkin. You say you want a logo on it. That's going to go up. It's going to go up in price because not only is the logo probably more complicated, but that dinner napkin is going to have more time underneath that needle on my machine. It's not going to be a 10-minute stitch. Okay. It may end up being a very long time. You're going to pay for that time. Okay. The other thing that I consider as well when I am putting my pricing together for a customer is the amount. Okay. And also the number of heads that I have. The more machines you have, the more you can stitch at a given time. Okay. So I can make more money. For instance, if I have someone that comes to me and says, I have a dinner napkin, I can actually play with my numbers and say, all right, I'm not going to charge you 15. I'll charge about maybe $9 a napkin. The reason why I say that is because I got 3 machines. So in those 15 minutes, I have 3 machines that finish 3 dinner napkins. So I'm making money. I'm still making money. Okay. Now, I could be a hard butt, okay, and say, nope, $15, that's how much it is. And then next thing you know, they're in there and I'm making $15, $15 in 15 minutes. Okay. And that's 45 bucks right there. That's good money. So that's why you see a lot of companies, they don't just have one machine, they have several machines, because the more they can finish within that time, the more of a profit they make. Okay. So that is something that to me is really important, is that people really don't focus on the time. People are going around going, how many stitches, how much should I charge per thousands of stitches? No, who cares about how much are you charging for your time? That's what I want to know. Forget about the stitch count, your time. That should be your rate. Okay. And then everything else can be secondary. The cost of digitizing. Someone wants something digitized. Okay, well, that's going to cost some money too. I'm going to add that to the cost. You know what I'm saying? If you something that's very delicate and I have to double up on the stabilizer, I'll add a little bit to the cost. You know, so there's so many things you got to consider. Okay. So, you know, I mean, and that's the thing that when I see people come out and they say, hey, how much you think I should charge? I can't answer that for you. I can't. And sometimes people get upset because they think I don't want to share information. It's not that. It's just that I don't live in California. I don't live in New York. I don't live in Florida. I don't live in Wyoming or Tennessee or anything like that. I only know what my area is, okay? What is profitable for me in my area. What is profitable for me for the cost of items that I spend. I may be buying stabilizer at one price. You might be buying it at another. So you may end up having a higher cost in supplies than I do. Okay. And, you know, it's just a very, very different thing. Now, the other thing also is you have to also take your time and look at your competitors. A lot of times people don't do that as well. You know, you could end up pricing everything and could end up saying, I'm going to charge $100. But then when you look at your competitors, right, you have to kind of like balance it out and then say, okay, I'm charging 100, but I see my competitors are charging 75. Now, if you're in an area where you are the monopoly, okay, there is no other embroiderer within like 20 miles from you or something like that, and the customer's okay with paying 100, hey, go for it. But what happens if you do have competitors out there? You know, customers are free to go somewhere else and be like, she's a little too high. And you got to be careful when you do that too. Because this is the thing. Remember how I tell you guys in the past, people talk, okay? Which is why I always say, please, if you don't know what you are doing, don't start the business, okay? I'm serious. Because last thing you want to do is be embroidering and your products look like crap, and then people are buying it and taking it with them. And then you know what they're going to be doing? They're going to be talking and they're going to say, hey, I got this embroidery. Look, it's terrible. Your business go right down the toilet. And it's the same thing with the pricing. If you're not fair with your pricing, which you guys always hear me say that. When I do pricing, I believe in being fair. I know the customer, I know their mentality. Hell, I'm a customer at times too. We all want something for nothing, right? Who the hell wants to overpay for anything? None of us, especially in this economy where everything's going up but the checks. You know what I'm saying? You want the best deal. So you have to be fair. Be fair to them, but most importantly, be fair to yourself, okay? You are also going to have people that are going to come to you and they're going to try to negotiate. They call it negotiating. Well, I'm going to tell you, for those of you guys that have watched me for a long time, you know I won't negotiate for nothing, okay? I have no problem letting a customer go. And I am telling you, if you care about your business, you have to do that, okay? Your price is your price. As long as you know that it's fair, okay? For them and for you, stick with that price. Don't allow them to tell you how much you should be making. Never, ever, ever. This is your stuff, your business. You run it, your world. If they don't like it, let them go. You don't want customers like that anyway. That's how I see it, okay? I've had customers come up to me and go, oh, well, I can get it cheaper somewhere else. Go. Good for you. Girl, what you do? Go. Order that thing now. Let them do it for $2. I'm not doing it for $2. I ain't even turning on this machine for no $2. Nope. It just ain't going to happen, okay? So you got to be very, very careful with your pricing. You know, You want the bottom line is, guys, when you get into this world, okay, of running an embroidery business, it's to make money. This is not cheap. Okay, you hear me say all the time. This is not for the person that got a light pocketbook. The machine is expensive. The material is expensive. The thread is expensive. And the prices are going up. They didn't go down. Okay. Not only do you have to get all your materials and you spent all this money on that, but now you also have to service your machines also. That costs money as well. So this is not the type of business for you to go into and then let customers dictate to you how much you should be charging. No. You know how much. You ran those numbers. You know how much you already spent. Now it's time for you to collect. You got your equipment, you got all the supplies, you have built up that skill set, okay? You know what you're doing. You know you're good at what you do, okay? You know that that work that comes out of your place is quality. Make sure you get paid for it, okay? No. Don't allow people to tell you how much they're going to pay. And I'm going to tell you, it's a big mistake. I say it so much. I can't emphasize this so much also. And this is the other thing I'm going to tell you. Reputation means everything. It really, truly does. Okay. If you're going to be in this business, you want to be known as top notch. If you cannot produce top notch stuff, don't do it. Don't do it. Because that product that walks out of there is going to be talking about you for a long time. And just like if you had a customer that came up to you and you said, I want 100 shirts and this is the logo. And the logo looked pretty simple, right? And I go, okay, well, it's a big bulk order. Usually my price is $15 per item. Since it's a bulk order, what I will do is I will, I'm going to give a little discount, whatever, right? And I'll do it for $1,200. Okay? Because this happened to me. I'm telling you from experience. Okay? I said $1,200 for 100 shirts. Not a problem. The lady came back and said, oh, I know somebody that said they'll do it for $800. I said, oh, that's a fabulous price. Call her. Get it done there. And that's it. Case closed. Now, I'm going to tell you that customer did come back to me later and said, I think I would want you to embroider. And you know what I said? I'm busy. I'm booked. And I was. But the thing is, I'm like, I know what it's about. Finagling, right? And to me, I'm like, she probably did not. I mean, probably people looked at her and said, are you crazy? I'm not going to do that for no $800. Okay. But what ends up happening, someone that's new in embroidery, they look at it as, wow, that's $800. I'm going to do it. But then what happens is it probably takes them like a week, 2 weeks to do it and stuff, depending on how much equipment they have. And then next thing you know, they're exhausted. And when they sit back and they think about it, they're like, shoot, it took me 10 days to do that. And all I got was $800. And I used all this stabilizer and it took me all day and all the stress and all the hooping and da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm just saying. And you know what's going to happen also when you do that? When you accept that haggling, right, in your services, when a person comes, right, they feel good. They feel real good because they got a good price for great embroidery service. But you feel like crap because you know you got taken advantage of. And then, let's take it a little further. You know what that person's going to do? They're going to show off your stuff. And guess what? You will get more customers. But those customers that come to you, you know what they're going to do? They're going to say, oh, I want to get this embroidered. And you're going to say, okay, the price is $20. Oh, well, I want to pay $15. You know why they're going to do that? Because the word's out. The word is out. Everybody knows that you accept negotiations. Okay? So they're going to be like, go to her. Go to her. She'll tell you one price, and all you got to do is talk to her. She'll knock it down. I am telling you I'm telling you, people will do that. With me, it's the price. There's no negotiation. Now, the thing is, I don't just come out and say, this is how much it is and walk away. I do have a conversation with the customer, and I let them know about the process and everything that's involved, so that when they understand the process, they understand why it is costing as much as they're costing. Okay. I don't want my customers to feel like I raped them. That like, oh shoot, she took all my money. Okay. I don't want them to feel that way. I want them to understand the process. I want them to understand that this is a lot of work. There is a lot of detail work that goes into it. We're not sticking anything in the machine, pressing a button, walking away. We're not doing that. Okay. So you want to make sure you have that conversation so that they can understand why you have that particular price structure and why is it that their item is costing this much. It's important that they understand, and trust me, they will respect you for it, and they will be. I have lots of customers that are repeat customers, okay, and I never had a problem with any of them. Never had a problem with them. And the ones that do want to come here and do that little negotiating, I never see them again. You know why? Because I don't play around. I'm like, no. I just tell them nope. And I'm very blunt. I'm like, maybe you need to find someone else that can do this service for you at a lower price, but it's not going to happen here. That's it. And I just leave it at that. Okay. So, your price, your time is very, very, very precious. Okay. To me personally, I feel that people really need to start thinking about how much do they want to charge per hour versus I'm going to charge per stitch count. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable. Okay. You're going to lose a lot of money when you do it that way. All right. So the other thing that I put in here also is asking others for the recommendations on pricing. Is it okay? It's like a yes or no. Okay. I think I already told you guys, I could price an item with one number, and then it may not be feasible for you because your costs may be higher in supplies. Okay. So it may not work for you. So you have to think about your environment. You have to think about the economics that are around you. And you have to think about how much you spent on your supplies, your machine, and all that other stuff. I mean, it's not easy. So this is, embroidering services, to price it, it's a really big topic because a lot of times, especially those that are really new in the business, they have a tough time with it. They really have a tough time. And, and I totally got it and I totally understand it. And you are going to have a hard time. This is not, don't think that this is something that should have came natural to you. No, it should not, As you start your business, and you start doing more and more embroidery and you become more familiar with it, there are going to be times when you have priced too low. There are going to be times when maybe you price a little too high. But the thing is, as you keep going, okay, you're going to become more experienced in it. And you're going to end up knowing exactly how to do it, how it's going to best help you, okay? It's not something that no one knows the right answer. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that, it's something that you learn with experience. You have to really be honest with your numbers as well. Okay. I see a lot of people that they come out and they say, hey, I got this business and I'm doing great. But at the same time, they're not being honest about how much they're putting out and how much they're bringing in. It's kind of like when you do a personal budget, right? And you're like, oh, I'm doing great. And the next thing you know, at the end of the month, you're like, shoot, I'm broke. Why? because you weren't honest about your expenses. That cup of coffee that you're getting every day adds up. Okay? I mean, maybe you should be going to Starbucks. Maybe you should go to Dunkin' Donuts. Maybe you should make your coffee at home. You know what I'm saying? So it's very you got to be really honest with the numbers. You have to take the time to be honest with the numbers. You have to understand what is your expenditure on the supplies, okay? And then also just don't gyp yourself about your time. Time is valuable, okay? Your time on earth is valuable. Make it count, okay? Not the stitch count, your time. So, you have to think about it. Think about, okay, well, how much do I want to make per hour? Do the math. Take the item. How long does it take? Okay? And then you start thinking about how much should you charge? Because you want to make that amount, right? So then you say, okay, this is how much I charge my time. Then start adding the supplies underneath. Then I got my stabilizer, I got my packaging, I got digitizing fee, stuff like that. You start adding it. Then look at the number, sit back and say, is this reasonable? Do I want to cut $1 or $2, or should I add $1 or $2? Do you know what I'm saying? So, that's one of the things that I want you guys to think about when you're doing pricing. It's a very tricky subject. It really is. There is no right or wrong answer. A lot of people have different methods on how they do embroidery pricing, okay? You just need to think about certain things. Think about what's important to you. What is it that you want to charge? How do you want to charge? And what's going to be comfortable for you? What's actually going to, work for you? And this is really the bottom line. It's about making money. It really truly is. So if you see that you're using a price structure and it's just not cutting it for you, then you need to do something else. Okay? You need to start looking at another method to go ahead and do your pricing, because that is really, really important. Okay? So yeah, so that's what I have for you. And I don't know if you guys know also, I'm going to be heading over to here. Okay, I don't know if you guys know, I will be there Friday. I'm going to be there the 27th and the 28th. And I am looking through the agenda right now. And at first I was saying I wasn't going to sign up for any classes, but now I see some classes and I want to sign up. And one of them is about sewing a rope bowl. So I figured I'm going to sign up for that. And they have some classes on Embroidery on Friday. So I'm signing up for that as well. So those are the 3 that I'm actually going to sign up for, because I think that's going to be pretty neat. So I'm going to do Friday, spend the night over there on Friday night, and then go back on Saturday so that I can do a project or 2. Because I saw they had a bag or something like that. I think it was what was it? There was a bag, a little mouth. There you go. Little big mouth bag. And I want to do that one. And then I want to do twisted bow. So anyway, yeah. So hope you guys liked today's topic. And if you did, please give me that thumbs up, because that does help the channel. I know that, there's a lot of times when a lot of you guys reach out to me and you say, hey, can I get your advice on the pricing and all that kind of stuff? And you probably get a little frustrated because my advice is a little bit on the vague side, because this is the thing, people. You can't be lazy. Okay, you got to do your homework. It's the same thing with embroidery. Okay, if you're going to run an embroidery business or any type of business, let's be honest, you can't be lazy. You can't sit back and say, let me just ask this person and they're going to tell me a number and I'm going to go for it. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to take the time to do your research. You have to take the time to run your numbers. You're in business. This is your business, okay? Nobody's going to care for it the way you care for it, because it's yours. So you have to do your thing. So, it's kind of very similar also, like when people ask me, hey, what embroidery machine should I buy? I'm not going to tell you what machine to buy, okay? There are so many different machines out there. People buy different brands for different reasons. You have to do your research and you have to see what is the best machine for you. Okay. Just because I'm comfortable with something doesn't mean that it's going to be right for you. It means that, you could have another machine out there that you like better. Okay. The same thing also when it comes to embroidery software. Some people say, hey, what embroidery software I should use. I'm not going to give you the advice either. I know what I use because it works for me, but everybody has a different learning curve and everybody has their own objective as well. Okay. Some people want to go heavy into the digitizing world. I don't. I prefer to hire digitizers to help me with that type of work. I am more of a machinist. That's what I like doing. So I use what I use because it works for me. The machines, I like these machines. They work for me for what I want to do. Will I ever switch brands? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on where I'm going, okay, and where I'm focused. Right now I'm very content with my choices, but I am not about pushing people to the left or the right. I'm more about, I'm going to give you the basic information so that you can think about it. And at the end of the day, you make your decision for your journey. Okay. It's kind of like in life, right? It's one of the things that I tell my son Carlito is life for me is an adventure. This is you only have one life. Make the best of it. It's an adventure. So think about what you want to do, what your contribution to this world is going to be, and go for it. And just enjoy the ride, okay? But whatever it is you choose, you're going to have to work, okay? And one of the things that I would do tell them is you're going to work early, you're going to work late. Bottom line, you can't escape work. It's going to work. You got to work. Okay. And it's the same thing with running an embroidery business. You want to know how much to charge? Do the work. Okay. Take all the things that I said and other things that you've heard from other people. Take that into consideration. Sit back, think about it, and then do the work. Run the numbers and see what's the best numbers that are going to work for you. Okay. Everybody has something that's different that they want to, how they want to price things. So it's all however you want to do it. Okay. What's important to me is that, you enjoy what you do. And that you're bringing home the type of money that it is that you want to bring in. Okay. For me personally, I don't need to be the billionaire. Okay. I am perfectly happy with the amount of money that I'm bringing in. It helps me a lot to do extra things. It helps me to help my son with his expenses and stuff. So there's a lot of things that you need to really, think about, and stuff. So it's not for the lazy people. So, don't be late. I'm not saying you're lazy, but what I'm saying is you got to really do your own homework. Okay. It is okay to ask, but don't take what you hear verbatim. Do your own homework. That's really, really important. Okay, guys, with everything. Okay. So I'm going to go down the chat because I think I have talked quite a bit. Yep, it's already 9:00. Okay, I'm good because you know how I like to do. I like to give you guys the topic first hour. And then for the rest of the night, I like to go down the chat and say hi to you guys and everything and, just hang out. And so I hope you guys did like the topic. And I hope you guys, I gave you guys something to think about when you are, pricing your items and stuff. And please apply these to everything. It doesn't just have to be embroidery and all that kind of stuff. If you're into sewing, quilting, and you're selling stuff and everything, think about your time. You come first, always, unapologetically. I say that at work all the time. Erica will tell you that because I tell her I unapologetically I come first, always, always. So always think about that. Okay. So let me go down the chat and say hi to everybody. Let's see. I see Rita. Hey, Kim. How are you? I see Becky, Robin, Angela, and Stitches. How you doing? Hi, Marcia. Hi, Marlene. I see Jenny. Hey, Erica. Happy Friday. I see Miss Hay, Iris, Joanne, Debbie, Sassy. Hey, Emma. How are you? Happy Friday to you too. I see Black Doll Shelly. Hey, how you doing? We haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Darlene. Annette, Pearl. Hey, my sister is on. Gift HQ. Hey, Clara. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Iris. And also, guys, if there is something that you also think other people should be considering when they are pricing their items, please put that comment in the chat, because like I said, this is, I the whole thing about this channel is so that everybody can learn from each other, right? So I just want, please put them in, because there could have been something I didn't think about, okay? And that you guys know. So please share it and stuff. Let's see. Hey, Eartha. Let's see who else. Hey, Lady Green, how you doing? Yes, it is. It is Friday. And Rebecca, Iris, I see Pearl. Let's see. Oh, did I miss something, Iris? I'm in Arizona. Oh my goodness, congratulations, Miss Grandma Iris. Oh my God, that is so cool. I gotta show this off. Iris became a grandmother. Born on Tuesday. That is awesome. I know you're gonna end up embroidering a lot of things for that one. That little girl is lucky, okay? Because I know grandma's going to hook her up. Oh, my goodness. That is so awesome. Hey, Jenny, how are you? Let's see. Oh, Nancy said, I have to jump off, so I'll watch the replay. Saturday. Yes, Nancy is actually somewhere else in Florida, something like that, for her son's event. So, yeah, so she is doing her thing. Hey, crafty Puerto Rican, how you doing? Let's see. Hey, Ozzy, how are you? How you doing, huh? Let's see. And I love those pillows that you made, by the way, Ozzy, with the the embroidery and that fabric that you got from Hobby Lobby, the jean fabric. Oh, I totally forgot. I was in Hobby Lobby the other day. I wanted to look for that fabric, so I'm gonna have to go look again. I don't know if you guys know. Also, Oz has a TikTok channel, and I'm following him now. And he's doing like amazing stuff. Love it. Hey, Simone, how you doing? Oh, finally catching a live. I'm glad you're here. Thanks. That's so sweet. Hey, Simone, how you doing, girl? I hope I see you. I don't know if you guys know, okay? I'm going to always say, okay, Simone was last year, okay? We were at the Sewing and Quilt. She won a prize. She won fabric, and nice fabric too, let me tell you. I was like, oh, I wanted to steal it from her. I really did. I mean, she won a prize, because at the end of every night, it's like they do like some kind of drawing, right? And they pick Simone's name, and she got the most beautiful, beautiful fabric. When I hope you go again, Simone, and I see you and stuff, because I'm gonna ask you what you did with that fabric. I'm gonna ask you, because that was gorgeous fabric. Hey, Miss Miller, how you doing? Some blanks are low quality, yes, and you do have to watch where you get your blanks from, okay? So it's like it's kind of like with everything else. That's why sometimes some people they like to buy blanks from regular department stores, because when you go over there and you get them, you actually can feel the material and stuff like that. So yeah, you do have to be careful where you get them, but you don't want to overpay for your blanks, that's for sure. And I see Mello came in here. He's got his bone and he's chewing away and stuff. Oh, thanks, Robin. Yes, please. If you can, please give me a thumbs up because that really does help the channel a lot. And I really hope that you guys really liked this video. It's tough charging per hour with one machine. Well, not really. No, Miss Hay. Your time is valuable. I am telling you, it is valuable. Okay, even if you have a single needle machine, don't cut yourself short. Seriously, just because I'm serious. I mean, don't do it. Don't let the customers dictate your price. Your time is important. Miss Hay, don't you be letting people push you around. Don't let I call me. I'll fight for you. Okay. Let's see. Don't come back with that luminaire. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I wish on the other side of the country. I live in LA, in California. I just went to Illinois for a family. I almost paid $700 for air, cheapest seats. Oh, you guys talking airlines now. Luminaires will all be in the sewing machine stores with the new machines. You know what? I love that machine. I don't know when I'll ever be able to get one though, but I would love if I ever get a luminaire, I will be all smiles from ear to ear. I mean, I would be like, there is a luminaire in the sewing shop by me, but I will tell you, I will not touch the machine. And there's a reason for it. If I touch it, I know I'm gonna want it, and Fred's gonna kill me if I come home with another machine because he's gonna be like, "Okay, Jeanette, let's sit down. We're gonna have to go to Machine Anonymous because this is a problem." I could see the conversation. I could see it. He's gonna be like, "We have a problem, my dear, because you only got two hands." And you got 7 machines, and now we got 8. What's going on? Okay, are we opening up a school or what? Which, you know what? I'd probably be like, ooh, that's not a bad idea. I could start a school. That way I have all the machines working. But knowing me, that's what I would tell them, So, yeah, but I would love to have a luminaire. Let's see. Oh, yeah. She said, I'll say he got the embroidered Tula at Fabric Tequila, but Joann's has some beautiful ones. Well, I'm going to have a video that's going to come out soon because I am actually, embroidered Tula is $49.99 a yard. So you can use coupons at Joann's. All right, guys, about this embroidered Tula. Guess what I got? All right, so when I saw Oz did that video, now, first of all, the embroidery on that was gorgeous. But you know me, I'm always thinking, how can we do the same thing but cheaper? So I bought my own. I went to Hobby Lobby, and I got this for 63 cents. Okay. And this is what I'm going to do in the video. And I'm doing this weekend. I am going to embroider designs on tools. So one of the things, if you look at the price that Oz is saying, an embroidered tool is $49.99 a yard. That's expensive. Okay, that's a lot of money. That is, even though you could use coupons, got that Aussie and stuff, but still, that's a high price. How about let's make our own? Can we do it? We're going to find out tomorrow. Okay, because tomorrow I will be turning on the machine and I will be hooping this, and we're going to work together. And I'm actually going to do it, and I'm going to videotape it, and I'm going to see, can we take an embroidery design and create our own embroidered tool? Because if you didn't see Oz's video, okay, and Oz, if you can, please put it on Facebook so people could see. But I know, I think he did put it on Facebook and stuff, but he got this embroidered tulip, and then he sewed a pillow, and he used it for the pillow. Beautiful. Came out gorgeous. Gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But when I looked at it, I thought to myself, could we do that? I bet you we could. I bet you with our embroidery machines, we can do that. Okay. So I bought this so that I could play around with it tomorrow, and I'm going to videotape it. Okay. And I do already have another video that's in the queue, because I know that a lot of people were asking me about how do I embroider the polyester performance shirts, right? How do I do that, right? So in that video, and that's I have it scheduled. It's going to go public on Monday. And that video, I'm going to show you exactly how to hoop those type of shirts so that the shirt doesn't shift, because those shirts are very, very thin. They can be very slippery, and there's a lot of different methods that people use that for embroidering the shirts. But I found one that really works really great. No puckering, no anything. And so that's gonna go live on Monday, and then tomorrow I will be filming me embroidering tulip. Okay. And I don't want to make a pillow like Oz did. I think I'm gonna try. I'm sticking with my bags, guys. I'm gonna stick with my bags, okay? Because I gotta get better on this. So I'm gonna embroider the tube, and then I'm going to use it to make a bag. So let's see how that goes tomorrow, okay? And I will probably post that video to go schedule. I'll schedule it for Wednesday, so that way it'll go, okay? And I do have to start taking some days off of work, because I do have to do the 12 Days of Christmas. I got to film that, because I don't want to wait till last minute, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay. So, last year I did 12 Days of Christmas, so I filmed that. I want to do another 12 Days of Christmas series for this year. And then also I already put in time off so that I can attend this. And you guys know we will be meeting on Friday evening. I'm going to talk with Miss Shirley, because I'm think we'll probably pick the same spot that we picked last year, and then maybe go to a restaurant and have dinner and stuff. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed meeting a lot of you guys in person, and it was a lot of fun, because when we walked in the restaurant, the waitress kind of recognized me. I didn't know she was a fan of the channel as well. That was a lot of fun too, meeting her. Hopefully I will get to see her again. So we're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff and everything. So I'm really looking forward to the Sewing and Quilt Expo. So it's gonna be really, really cool and stuff. So if you guys are close to Fredericksburg, Virginia, and if you guys have never been to this event, okay, I recommend going at least once in your lifetime to go. There is just so much to do, it's like they have so many classes. Last year I went the whole time, and I took some classes. I noticed that some of the classes that they have this year, they're doing again, because last year I did all serger classes. Okay. So, because I had just gotten the Airflow 3000, and I really wanted to get better on my serging. But this year I want to do bags, and I want to really learn in brilliance really well. So they have a class on Friday. What I plan on doing is I plan on taking 2 classes, which is the Intro to In Brilliance, which that should be pretty easy. I just want to take it. Just, you never know. There may be something that I don't know, right? So even though I am pretty proficient in brilliance, but I figured I'll just go and take it anyway, because you never know. And then after that, I'm going to do the intro to Brilliance, which is digitizing to the stitch out. And I figured that way I could learn a little bit more about it and stuff. So I'm going to be taking those 2 classes on Friday. And then on Saturday, they have, I want to do a little project class. And I'm going to do Saturday, the little big mouth. And then after that, I'm going to do the twisted knot woven rope creation. Okay. And this is another thing too. I also brought rope here as well because I want to give that a shot on how to sew a woven rope. So I'll probably videotape that as well. Okay. So I have all my batteries all charged up because this weekend is going to be my videotaping weekend. Carlito's back at home. So I'll probably get him to hold the camera and stuff like that and help me with the video. Just have fun with him and stuff. Yeah, and we'll see how that goes and everything. So yeah, so I'm gonna be going Friday and Saturday, spend the night Friday and stuff. I still gotta get my hotel and everything, and hopefully nobody steals my room. Okay, because last year somebody stole my room, and I almost slept on the sofa at the hotel. And man, Mello is on a mission, as you can see. Let me show you guys what he's doing. He's got a brand new bone, okay? And as you can see, Mello. As you can see, he doesn't care about me at all. It's just him and his bone, and he is in heaven, okay? So he's okay. So if you hear all the crunching in the background, it's this little guy right here. Well, he's not little, he's a big guy. But usually I get him these really huge bones and they're bigger than him and stuff. So yeah. So let me see. Let's see. It says Angela Wolf, a famous on embroidery on too. She has designs that she sells and embroidered on. Oh, okay. I gotta check her out, Jenny. I definitely gotta check her out. Oh my God. Yeah, but I'm gonna have fun with this. I already know off the top that with this type of material, you should not be using dense designs. So I'm going to be looking for a design that I know would probably do really well on this material, because as you know, this material is not really solid, right? This is not, this has holes in them already, right? It's the material that people use for, when they make the little girl skirts and all that stuff and everything. So I have to make sure that I am picking a design that is going to embroider well on this material. Never embroidered on this before, so I'm looking forward to doing this video, because if I mess up, you guys know how I do. I will leave that mistake in the video and I will let you guys know. Oh, you don't want to do that because that's a screw up, that messes up, so it's not going to work well. So I'm pretty hyped about tomorrow doing this, because it's going to be pretty interesting. So yeah, so I'm going to have fun with that project. I really am. No, I don't think Fossil fixed his thing, because I owe him too, because I'm waiting for him to fix it so that I can pay him for some work that he's done for me too. Yeah, let's see. Jeanette, that's what I do at the shows. Take multiple classes at the events. Much less expensive that way, and so much to learn. Yes. And and I gotta be honest, I do like taking the classes because you do get to meet some really nice people there. I just love it. I love meeting the different people, and I learn so much. I really do. Now, this is the one thing I don't like when I go there, okay? I always take very little with me, because it's like putting me in a candy store, okay? I see all the threads. I see all the needles. I see all the scissors, all the sewing notions. I see the fabrics. I see the machines, and I just want to take everything home with me, okay? Very dangerous. Okay. Very, very dangerous. So, it's just like, I got to be careful. I really do. I got to be careful because it's like, I feel like I'm an addict in a place I really shouldn't be. Okay. So it could be terrible. All right. So it's like not something that's really, really good and stuff. So yeah. Let's see. Uh let's see. Da, da, da. I think I am at the bottom of the chat. There wasn't a lot of chat going on and stuff. Okay, I hope you guys are listening. Were you guys listening? Do I have to say it all over again? Let me stop. No, I won't do that. Okay, guys. So, all right. So it looks like we are good to go. I hope you guys did like today's topic. All right. I have done videos on the pricing before also. I think I did 2 other embroidery happy hours. I even did one where Mello, oh my God, he's tearing up on this thing. Look at that. He is really, he's on a mission, okay, bone mission. I have done one where I broke down how to create a price sheet. And I'm trying to see if I have it in here. I know I had a price sheet somewhere. I don't think I have it, but I think I took it downstairs because I was doing a price calculation for a big order that I have coming up, Mellow, which my son is going to be helping me with because no, I brought it back up. Thank goodness. Okay, so let me give an example of the price sheet while I still have you guys here. Here it is. Okay, so here it is. All right, so let me tell you real quick. Stabilizers. Okay, I have like cutaway stabilizer, 13 cents, tearaway stabilizer, 14 cents, topping, 25 cents. Just an idea. Now, the thing is, how do I come with 13, 14 cents and all that kind of stuff? Well, when you buy a pack of 100, they're $12.99. Okay. So these are the prices of how much I paid for a pack. Okay. So you want to break down your cost. So the stitching, I really don't use that, but I kind of use it for small items. Okay. Some people do hooping charges. I personally don't recommend doing hooping charges unless you really feel that it's kind of necessary. Because remember, hooping does take time. Okay. And also takes some expertise as well. Okay. Because sometimes you got to make sure it's aligned right. Okay. Your blanks, your materials, your digitizing, all your shop fees. I mentioned all that. Your shipping supplies. That's something else you got to think about. Your time. Don't forget your time. Nobody works for free. Okay. I already told you. Yeah, all this stuff I mentioned to you guys and stuff. But the thing is, what you can do is create a little sheet for yourself. And then when you have customers come in, make sure that you use this sheet so that you can help determine the type of price that you want. One thing that I forgot to mention to you guys, okay? And I'm going to mention it to you guys now. And I will always say this, and I stand by it. Never, and I'm telling you guys, and I'm serious about this, okay? Never, ever, never, no, just don't do it. Give a price to someone right away. When somebody comes up to you and says, hey, can you embroider this shirt? And this is the design I want. How much would it cost? Never give a price. Say, I'll have to do the research and get back to you. And I'm going to tell you why, because there's a lot of things. You got to go through your sheet. You got to go through Mellow. Stop that. You got to go through your sheet and all that kind of stuff, and you have to calculate your price. What happens is if you give a price right away, okay, even if you say it's an estimation, that estimation could be very, very off. You want to say hi? Okay. The estimation can be very, very off. All right, but we'll go back to your bone. I know that's what you want. You're all about the bone. So, you don't want, hold on. Oh, okay. How do you get rid of this stuff? Okay, hold on. Hide. There you go. Okay, sorry. You don't want to give someone an estimate on a price, and then they take that estimate as the actual price. And then when you do your homework, you end up finding out that you lowballed yourself. And then you say, nope, it's a higher price. You want to avoid all that. You don't want any issues or anything like that. So when people ask for how much is this going to cost, you never give a price right away. Make sure that that's a habit that you form. Okay. I have people that always ask me all the time, okay? Even just walking around. Hey, I want to get a hat embroidered. How much is going to cost? It depends. I'll have to do my research. I need to find out more details of what it is that you want me to do, okay? You could have a complicated logo on that hat that takes a whole hour on my machine. That's going to be an expensive hat. Think about this. When you go to Lids and you look at those hats that they embroider, they're not cheap. Those are fitted hats. And some of those designs, it's not just the embroidery design. It has 3D puff in some of those designs. That takes time. Okay? And those hats are not cheap. All right? So, never, ever, 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 never. Just don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. You're gonna mess up if you give a price up front right away. Don't do it. Get into that habit. You never price right away, okay? I sat with that customer, and when I sat there, I gathered all the requirements today. All of it. Do they have a price? Not yet, because I still have to calculate it. So after they left, I had to take out my price sheet. I had to look at their design. I had to see, how long is it going to take? I had to look at the product, all the material that I have to use, my time, which comes first, okay? And how many machines am I going to be able to use and pull it out? And it's a big order. It's 200 items that I have to do for this customer. So, don't ever give out a price up front. I always tell the customer I need at least 1 or 2 days to run the numbers, and I'll give you my estimate, okay? And I take my time. And I make sure that I calculate everything, because what's important to me is that it's a fair price to them, but it also a profitable price for myself, because I'm not doing this for free. Okay, there's a lot of things. I prefer to be at a winery with a cheese tray in front of me and a bottle of wine and just looking out at the trees and just enjoying the view. But I'm not. I am in this room hustling, making that money. I am here to make real money. I'm not here for an extra dollar or two. No, that's not going to work for me. So seriously, guys, think about that. Think about your business. Think about how you're going to price things and stuff. Don't sell yourself short. That's the worst thing you can do. Okay. Believe in yourselves. Okay. Because I know that's also something that happens with a lot of people. They don't have that confidence, right? So what they'll do is they'll say, oh, I know I should charge 25, but let me charge 15. Why? Why are you doing that? Why? You're good. You're good. Why? What do you mean they're not going to pay that? Let them go somewhere else. You know your worth. Know your worth. Stick to it. Have confidence in yourself. Okay? Believe in yourself. You got this. You can do this. Okay? Don't let anybody tell you you can't. I tell you, that's a motivation for me. When somebody tells me I can't do something, not only do I do it, I make sure I excel. Okay? And that'll be the last time they say something like that to me. That's for sure. That's what I tell my son. Don't ever let anybody tell you can't do anything in life except me. Because I'll put you straight. Okay. So anyway, I don't do that to Carly. I mean, I'll be look at some of his ideas and go, I don't know. But you never know. Okay. You never know. Okay. So that's why I never question someone's abilities, because they can surprise you. They really can surprise you. And don't question your own abilities. Okay. You got this. You spent all this money on your equipment. You've done everything you could to learn your stuff and your craft. If you know in your heart you are ready and you produce solid outcomes and products in your embroidery, there is absolutely no reason why you should be shortchanging yourself. Do not do it. It's not good for you. Okay. You're not doing yourself any justice. Okay. Believe in yourself, have confidence, lift that head up high, do your thing. Do your thing. And for those haters that are around you that don't believe in you or whatever, shut them away. Just shut them away. Okay. It's about you, your machine, your business, and you doing your thing. And you're going to be all right. Trust me, you will be okay. You're going to make mistakes? Absolutely. Who the hell doesn't? We all make them. So get up, keep going. That's what you do. Okay. Don't sell yourself short. You know what you got and you know what you can do. So don't do that. Okay. So guys, I am going to call it the night, and I'm excited about tomorrow because I'm going to do this for the first time. So this is going to be exciting, and I hope it comes out okay. And I am going to buy some embroidery designs, and this is going to be pretty cute. I think I'm going to try to do a makeup bag. I'm going to do a makeup bag thing. Hopefully it comes out really, really cute and stuff. And then I could gift it to somebody. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited about trying this. Hopefully it's a win. If it's a fail, it's okay. And I'm still going to publish the video anyway, because you guys know I don't just I like everything raw. Okay. I leave it raw. Okay. I'm a person just like you. Sometimes my things go well, and sometimes I make a hiccup. So that's life, right? So we all enjoy doing this stuff, and we all end up giving it. And it looks like I'm gonna have to gift it. I know who wants it. And yes, Erica, I was thinking about you because Erica likes her little makeup and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, maybe I could make her a makeup bag. So if I'm going to do this, and yes, Erica, I was going to give it to you. I knew she was going to see. She texted me. She must have knew. Oh my God. And I never even worked with her for a year. And already we're starting to read each other's minds. I love working with her though. I love it on Tuesdays because Tuesdays is when she comes into the office, and I always have so much fun with her and stuff because me and her can crack up. I'm telling you. I really like my job. I do. I mean, it drives me a little crazy sometimes because there's so much work, but we have fun. We do. So anyway, but yes, Erica, if it comes out really nice, I will sew that makeup bag and I will have it on your desk on Tuesday. Okay. So I can see it now. She's going to be like, where's my makeup bag? So guys, I'm going to call it the night, and I hope you guys like today's topic. And like I said, pricing, very, very difficult, but it's not just embroidery, it's in everything, but you got to really, it's going to take time. As you start to grow your business, you're going to make some mistakes, but you're going to figure it out. It will come to you. Okay. Just consider some of the things that I said. Keep that in the back of your mind. So when you are doing those numbers and stuff like that, you make sure that you have everything covered. What's important at the end of the day is that you feel valued. That's really what's important. So make sure that at the end of everything that's said and done, that's the feeling that you get after you're done with that order. Okay. So guys, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. And if there is another topic that you guys want me to cover on, next Friday for Embroidery Happy Hour, let me know. Okay. Because I will cover it. And thank you so much for Miss McMurray. She is the one that reached out to me and asked me about doing embroidery pricing this Friday. Appreciated that. And, I saw all the comments that were running around Facebook. So I said, you know what? Let me cover the topic so that way everybody could kind of have a little understanding of where I come from when it comes to this. So I hope this was helpful. Hope you guys enjoy. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I do Embroidery Happy Hour every Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I also post a whole bunch of instructional videos on embroidery and all that other good stuff. Okay. So I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great night and have fun sewing and have fun embroidering. So I will talk to you guys later.